शिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्लोक नंबर 25। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अव्यक्तोऽयमचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयमुच्यते तस्मादेवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि। Arjuna requested Bhagavan to give the solution to the problem of samsara bondage. Bondage in the form of sense of limitation, struggle to become somebody. Whatever I am, I do not want to be that. I want to become somebody else. Not being completely satisfied with oneself and the world. That is bondage. And for that Bhagavan gave the solution in the form of self-knowledge, and he gave the teaching on what the nature of self is. And we had seen that self means what really I am. That is called self. We need not mystify the idea of self. What is the self? Self means what really I am. That is called the self. And the self is essentially consciousness. Consciousness means it is the reality which makes the body, mind, sense complex, sentient, conscious. So the reality which makes the mind conscious is called consciousness. So who am I? Chaitanya Swarupaha Atma. I am the self who is of the nature of consciousness. And I, the consciousness, am Nityaha, permanent. The body is impermanent, but I, the consciousness, am permanent. Not only I am permanent, everybody is permanent. So Arjuna, you are Nityaha Atma, and even Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, about whom you are very much worried, having the guilt, they are also Atma, they are Nityaha. And Atma, I am Satyaha. I am independently existing, unnegatable reality. And Sarvagataha, I am not located in this body. I am all pervasive consciousness. I am aprameyaha. I am not the object. I am not available for objectification. I am ever the subject. In fact, the truth of the subject. Means I am not an object which is to be experienced in a particular moment. Aprameyaha. Then I am ekaha. Bodies are many, but I, consciousness, am one. And then one important message about Atma or the teaching about Atma is I am akarta abhukta. Means the real doership is not there in me. Activities happen in my presence, but I, consciousness, am free from doership. Akarta. And therefore abhukta. Free from the result of this karma, punya papa, and pleasure and pain. I am abiding presence, consciousness, and free from this doership and this experiencership. And finally, avikriyaha. I am changeless. I, consciousness, am free from changes. And the significance of changes is that consciousness does not become better in course of time. People may think that when I do more sadhana, I will become higher consciousness, supra consciousness. There is no such thing. Even if that somebody talks about the higher state of consciousness, it should be understood as higher state of the mind. The mind can have a higher state. Earlier it was tamasika, very lazy, doesn't understand anything, not ready to do anything, lazy mind. Then it becomes active mind, some growth. And further growth is person is able to contemplate. So mind is improved. So the state of the mind can be improved. Good, better, best we can have. And your ability to focus, your ability to be aware of the surrounding, your sensitivity, that can increase. And that is what people say, that my consciousness is increased. Consciousness, what we mean, does not increase, does not decrease. Avikaraha. So Bhagavan said, avikaryoya muchyati. So I am not subject to any change. Swamiji, my wife also tells this. You will never change. So we are not talking about that thing. I, limitless consciousness, doesn't change, doesn't require to change. What I am is already Purnaha. I do not change, I cannot change, I don't need to change. What really I am is Purnaha, limitless, without any change. And therefore alone I am Akarta Abhokta. Once I understand in this manner, then there is no grief. Therefore Bhagavan said Tasmat. Tasmat means, since Atma is of such nature, and knowing the Atma, one becomes free from sorrow. Therefore, hey Arjuna, enam evam viditva. Having understood this self in the manner I have talked about, anushochitum na arhasi. You do not have any basis for sorrow. It is not an instruction. Don't be sorrow now. Don't be sorrowful now. People give some instruction like this. Don't be sad. It is not that you have a choice. Never tell anybody, don't be sad. You can say there is no basis for sadness. That is an intelligent communication. But Somebody is sad. So here we are not giving instruction. Many times it happens, no, that it is our brother, sister, spouse crying, and you feel bad about that person's crying. So you say, stop, don't cry. Perhaps that person can oblige. Don't be so sad. What to do? That person has tears because she or he felt hurt. So there is no point in giving the instruction. Perhaps you can say, you please don't cry, otherwise you will look very bad in front of everybody. For my sake, I request you. You can perhaps suspend your tears. But you cannot give instruction, don't be sad. There is no point in saying, because the person doesn't want to be sad. You can give the instruction for something regarding which person has a choice. I can ask you to clap because you can clap. But you don't have a choice regarding being sad or not being sad. Therefore, here it is not an instruction that Arjuna, you should not be sad. What Bhagavan is telling, if you understand the self the way it is, if you understand yourself the way you are, you will see there is no basis for sorrow. So teaching and preaching are different. Here Bhagavan is teaching. Bhagavan is not preaching. Be calm, be peaceful, be free from anger. This is called preaching. It generally doesn't work. You will say, yes, Swamiji. You love everybody. You never be sad. Always be happy. There are some teachings, they say, be happy. Be happy. I want to be happy, but I am not happy. In fact, your instruction is making me more unhappy. Why? Because you are telling me, Swamiji is telling that I should be happy, and I am not able to be happy. Even this much instruction I am not able to follow. This much seva, free seva I asked, that be happy. But that also I am not able to do it. So you may feel bad about it. Therefore, Vedanta is not preaching. Vedanta is what? Teaching. Teaching what? Teaching the facts about yourself. And the vision of Vedanta is, once you know the facts about yourself and you assimilate those facts, you will see there is no basis for sorrow. Many times in our life it happens. We imagine some problem that person is unhappy with us because we sent 3 SMS and he did not answer. So we said he is unhappy. Nowadays this extra problem. Earlier days we didn't have because SMS itself was not there. WhatsApp was not there. And you see, you sent SMS, WhatsApp, he did not reply. So you start, especially in SMS it happens more. In WhatsApp at least you see that the tick work will come. And so here SMS tick also doesn't come. So you imagine what? Somebody must have told, I imagine that also. Somebody must have gone and told him that I am like this, and so he must have decided to cut relationship with me. So what to do with him? Shall I go and give clarification? All these things you tell. And that person tells you that my phone was not working. That's all. So nothing big. My phone was not, here ashram, one thing is, our phone was not working at all. Signal is not there. People imagine all kinds of things. One person said, Swamiji, I hope you are fine, because he did not get the reply. 3 days phone was not working. That's all. I am fine. Phone was not fine. Phone also was fine because getting rest, So idea is that sometimes we imagine problem, and what is the solution to the imaginary problem? Knowing that it is imagination. Solution to imaginary problem is to know that it was imaginary. Similarly, Bhagavan says, all your problem of samsara, I am no good, I am not acceptable to myself, the world is not acceptable. All of them are because of not knowing the truth about yourself, the truth about the world. Once you understand and assimilate, we have to add the word. Swamiji, I understood, but nothing happens. Still, I hate myself. So you have not assimilated this fact. When you understand and assimilate, then nanu shotitu marhasi. Sorrow and wisdom do not go together. When wisdom is there, sorrow is not there. If sorrow is there, wisdom is missed for that moment. I am not talking about pain. Pain and wisdom can go together. Wise person will have a pain or not? Wise person will have pain or not? Pain will be there. Sorrow is not there. Sorrow is centered on I. Means I am sad. That the conclusion that I am sad, that is called sorrow. That is not there. So wisdom makes you free from that. Physical pain will be there. Some discomfort will be there. If season is very hot, some discomfort will be there. But this I am sad or I am suffering. My lot is like this. What to do, Swamiji? My life is like this. I don't know when will I come out of this. That type of helplessness will go away. And that is what is said here. Nanu Shochitu Mahasya. So with this, Bhagavan Sri Krishna temporarily concluded the discussion on the self, which is Nityaha, Satyaha, Akarta, Abhokta, Sarvagataha, Avikriyaha. And his message is, know yourself, be free from sorrow. You will be free from sorrow. Now, from the next shloka, next 3 shlokas, Bhagavan is giving the argument for not having the basis for sorrow from another angle. That is called Abhyupagama Vada. Abhyupagama Vada means this supposition argument. It is something like you think that somebody is angry with you and therefore you decide to take some very strong step. I will cut the relationship. The fact may be that that person is not angry with you. You have concluded and therefore you decide, what? I will send a message. We are no more connected. Let us part with each other. Goodbye. So you feel like writing like this. So that time other person explains to you, it is not like this. He doesn't have any anger with you. He loves you, cares for you and all this. But you don't believe. And in that situation, your guide can take this stand. Okay. Even if you think that that person is unhappy with you, he is not, according to me, as I know him, as I have talked to him, he is not angry with you. But even if you think he is angry with you, still you do not have basis to take this particular stand. You can go and talk to him. So this argument is called supposition argument. Something is not a fact, but you consider it to be a fact and you are sad. So in that situation, your guide will say, even if you consider it to be a fact, there is no basis for sorrow. And so here, Bhagavan is changing his stand to make Arjuna see that there is no reason to be sad. And what is the change in stand? So far he was telling, Atma is Nityaha, Atma is permanent. And therefore there is no basis for sorrow. Nobody is killed, nobody is going to kill. That was his main idea, main argument. But if Arjuna is not able to see that, then Bhagavan comes down. That is the grace, the greatness of the teacher. The teacher is interested in making the student be free from grief. Like doctor's commitment is to make the patient free from this disease, suffering. And that is why, even though sometimes main medicine for a particular disease is not acceptable to the patient, No, no, I will not take this. Even though that is the main medicine, he has some idea about that medicine. Then what the doctor will do? Doctor will give some other medicine, which is secondary medicine. Secondary is not the first choice, but he will go for second. Why? Because if he does not give the second medicine, second best medicine, patient will die. So doctor should not be insistent on that. No, 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 this is the first medicine. Why should I give second medicine? I have studied MD, and in MD we have been taught this is the first medicine. I should use my knowledge properly. If you want to take treatment, take, otherwise go away. That the patient doctor will not do that. Because patient should be alive. To be given the best medicine later on, now we should be alive. If doctor is also very stubborn, that I will give this medicine only, then patient will die. And therefore, what does doctor do? Okay, if this is not suitable to you, according to you, it is not good medicine. Some people have this. I will not buy this medicine. I will not use this. This medicine has got non-veg thing. I will not take. If something, if protein is made from non-veg source, and some people are too stubborn. Okay, if first you are not taking, second you take. But at least you take some medicine, so that you will be free from suffering. That is called supposition argument. So here also Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, if you are not able to accept that Atma is permanent, let us assume that Atma is not permanent. Atma is dying every now and then, Atma is born every now and then. Are you happy with that? Because that is how it is well known, Loka Prasiddhi, that we are born, we are going to die. That is how we know. If that is what you are thinking, that I am born and I am going to die. When the body is born, I am born. When the body is going to die, I am going to die. This is what you are comfortable with. Okay. Bhagavan says, even if you think in this manner, then also there is no basis for sorrow. That's what he says in the next sloka. Atha chainam nitya jatam nityam va manyase mrutam tathapi tvam mahabaho naivam shocitum arhasi. Athacha has got the idea, even if you think, or even if, however, on the other hand, even if you don't accept that Atma is Nitya, that is conveyed by the word Athacha. Pakshantare, on the other hand, if you do not accept Atma to be Nitya, then Manyase, you think what? Nitya Jatam. You are thinking that Atma, Enam, this self, Nitya Jatam, is constantly born. Again and again it is born. And Nityam Mrutam, it is constantly dying, again and again dying. So one Atma is born, remains for some time, and will be dead. Another Atma born, remains some time, gone. So constantly, again and again, Atma is born, Atma is dying. That's what generally people think. I, Atma, am I, the self, was born some few years ago, I will die. Bhagavan says, if you think like this, and this is the thinking of so many philosophers also. There is one philosopher called Charvaka. Charvaka means materialistic people. They think that body alone is Atma. And therefore when body is born, you are born. When body will die, you will die. That is what even scientists, most of the scientists think in this manner. Einstein also was asked, what about your survival after death? He said, no. With the completion of the body, with the end of this body, I am done. Means I am finished. So most of the materialistic people who look upon the body alone as the reality of oneself, they will think what? I am born and I will die. And there is another philosopher, these are called Charvaka, who think that with the birth of the body, I am born, with the death of the body, I will be gone. Other philosophers are there, they are called the Kshanika Vijnanavadi. They say Atma Dana Rupaha, but Kshanikaha. Atma, self is consciousness, but it is momentary consciousness. Like that blinking light is there. Sometime in the car also you do that, no? Strobe light. So in that comes goes, flash comes, flash goes. So just to draw the attention. So they say Atma is like that. Shining, gone. Shining, gone. Momentary consciousness. Blinking consciousness. So there what is happening? Nitya Jatam. Every moment it is born and next moment it is gone. So Bhagavan says, even if you accept that, it is a Buddhist mata. It is a Buddhist view. Kshanika Vijnanavadi. So Bhagavan says, I don't mind. Whomsoever you like. So you let us take that Atma is born regularly at every moment or at some interval born and after some time gone. Bhagavan says, even if you think like this, tathapi, even then, Hey Arjuna, Mahabaho Arjuna, Naivam Shotitu Marhasi. You do not have real basis to have sorrow. The way you are having grief, you really do not have basis for sorrow. Why? Bhashyakara says, Janmavataha Janma. That which is subject to be born is being born. And Nashavataha Nashaha. That which is subject to be destroyed is destroyed. That which is subject to be born is born. And that which is subject to die is die. Destructible is destroyed. And which is subject to be born is born. So that is how it is. Pujya Swamiji, I must have told this, that Pujya Swamiji in Sandipani ashram, when one brahmachari who was carrying one new tea set, somebody has gifted, carrying in his hand, and he was conscious, it was very new set, it should not break. And generally it happens that when you are too conscious, it happens, what you are afraid of. So even a talk is if you want to give a talk, I will commit mistake. So you will commit mistake. Many people, they give auto suggestion, which are harmful to themselves. That's why I tell people that don't tell your spouse, don't forget this. He will forget. Say, remember. Or some wives, they will say, I know you will forget. That's okay. I will oblige you. So anyway, so this brahmachari was carrying and he was conscious and it really fell down. And the tea set, China tea set, in those days it was very important. It broke. Brahmachari was really feeling very sad, perhaps trembling. Pujya Swamiji saw that and he laughed and said, breakable has broken. That's it. Very mature statement. Breakable has broken. So what is subject to break is broken. So that which is subject to be born is born. That which is subject to be gone is gone. And we extend it to everything. Swamiji, this happened. Can it happen? Yes, it can happen. Happenable has happened. Unhappenable never happens. Only happenable happens. If it has happened, it is not unhappenable. The very fact that it has happened, it is not unhappenable. Because if it was unhappenable, it would not have happened. So it was happenable, it has happened. And therefore what? There is no sorrow. It is, Arjuna, according to you, you are subject to be born and you are subject to die. That is a fact about you. You yourself are telling, yeah, I am born, I will die. So that is what is happening. The time has come, time will go. Means 10:30 will happen, 11:30 has come, 11:30 has come, and into 11:30 has to go, 12:30 it will go. Class has to start, class will end. Some people say, when it will end, when will it end? It will end. If you like also it will end, if you don't like also it will end. Both way it will end. And therefore, if you see that happenable is happening, then there is no basis for something. Somebody shouted at you. Can that person shout? He shouted. Shoutable has shouted. See, wall will not shout at you because the wall cannot shout. The one who can shout has shouted. In language of quantum physics, this possibility has collapsed, actualized. Possibility is collapsed. Collapse they call it. Is actualized. So that shoutable, the person who has the possibility of shouting has shouted. Problem happens, you know why problem? Because we don't expect that person to shout. And he shouts. It is your problem that you did not expect. Better you expect. Be ready, anything can happen anytime. All of a sudden you get up and you go away. Possible. I should be ready for that. Can we talk afterwards so that the link for everybody? You can ask after the class. So, Bhagavan says, Natvam nevam shochitum arhasi. You need not have any grief. And in the next shloka, Bhagavan gives another reason why you do not have basis for sorrow. Even if you consider yourself to be subject to birth and death. That's what he says in the next shloka. जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युः ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहार्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि. So in the previous shloka, Bhagavan said, one who is subject to be born is born. Bhishma Pitamaha, Duryodhana, all of them were subject to be born, were born. You were subject to be born, you were born. And you are subject to die, you will die. Bhishma Pitamaha, etc. And others, they are subject to die, they will die. Happenable alone will happen. Not only that, he says one more fact we need to know. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu. You need not grieve he because Jatasya, of anyone who is born, Mrityuhu, death, is Dhruvaha. Dhruva means definite. Anything which is born is certain to die. Definitely it is going to die. Death is Dhruvaha, certain, definite for anyone who is born. Anyone who is born, death is certain. Death is definite. We do not have anyone which was born and did not die. In Puranas we have stories. Either the Rakshasas, they will do this tapas. And they will do, in the Purana they give the story. They do so much tapas that the whole world is getting, scorched. This tapas creates so much heat around. And therefore what? Brahmaji has to come. Or Shiva. Vishnu generally doesn't come so easily. Brahmaji or Shiva comes. You will see most of the stories, Brahmaji only comes. Vishnu is very smart. He takes lot of time. He makes the person lose his patience. So generally people don't worship Vishnu for that purpose. Only those who are real devotees, they will worship. So, Brahmaji comes. And this Asura will ask, first he will do stuti. And he said, you are immortal, you are mortal, you are the Satchidananda. Everything is, Asuras also will know Vedanta. So we are surprised. They also attended Tattva Bodha class perhaps. So they will say all this, and then he said, what do you want? He said, you make me immortal. Brahmaji will say, what do you want? Then say, you make me immortal. Brahmaji said, it is not in my hand. Why? I myself am not immortal. I also, as a Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha, I also have to go. I cannot give you. Immortality for the body is not possible. But he said, you can choose your death. You can put some condition that by this I will not die, this I will not die. But you keep some scope for your death. You find that is very, very rare. That you put, no problem. Vishnu is there to take care of that. So Hiranyakashipu will say that I should not die outside, inside, day, night, by animal or human being. All this you put, but you cannot say absolute immortality, some condition. And Brahmaji will say Tathastu. And perhaps we'll go and tell Vishnu, let's see, this is what has happened. Brahmaji says, every time you do like this, anyway, I'll find out something. And then that Asura become very powerful and, hurts everybody, and then Vishnu find out the way. For the one Asura, the two Asuras were there, Sunda and Upasanda. They had a condition. They love each other so much. So they said one condition only will die. What? We can die by each other. If my brother kills me, then I will die. And I kill him, he will die. And they were so sure that we will never kill each other. And therefore they said we will never die. Then Mohini came. So Bhagavan has solution for all these problems. That's why he's Bhagavan. Idea conveyed there is that physical immortality is not possible. However much tapas you do, it is not possible. Many people have the hope. You know that many people have given so much money to some trust or some organization, saying that now you keep our body in such a way that when modern research comes and then they can revive our body, so we'll again revive and we will live forever. There are people, I was surprised to hear this, idiots. So, you enjoy your money, whatever you have. Why should you think about that? There are people. I'm not feeling well. Please. Thus, death is inevitable. You require some help? Help? Okay. So, immortality at physical level, not possible. Then somebody may say, Swamiji, what about Chiranjeevi? Have you heard this shloka? This shloka is Ashwathama Balir Vyaso Hanumansha Vibhishanaha. Then Krupah Parashuramascha Saptaite Chirajivinaha. So 7 Chiranjeevis are there. Ashwathama is a Chiranjeevi, but he is suffering. Don't envy him. He is suffering. Ashwathama. He has got so much burning here on his head. He is going all over. Ashwathama. Balihi. Bali Raja. The Bali party we celebrate that Bali Raja on whom Bhagavan had put his foot. He is also Chiranjeevi. Then Vyasa. Veda Vyasa is Chiranjeevi. Therefore Veda Vyasa met Shankaracharya ji. Between Shankaracharya ji and Veda Vyasa active period, so much gap is there. 3,000-4,000. But still he met. Then Hanumanji is Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Krutamastakanjalim. They said wherever you do Ramayana Katha, Hanumanji comes. Hanumanji is present in subtle form, he comes. And Vibhishana, or they called it Ruksharad. Ruksharad means Vibhishana. Vibhishana also is Chiranjeevi. Krupaha, this brother-in-law of Dronacharya, Krupacharya. Parshurama also is Chiranjeevi. Saptaite Chirajivinaha. Swamiji, Jatasya Dhruva Mrityu is not there. They are born, but their death is not there. For that our answer is Chira Jivina. Chira means long time. Means till the end of this cycle, which will take millions of years, Till then they will be alive. Afterward they also will die. Any avatara, Rama, Krishna avatara, there also Rama avatara, Rama had to go after some 10,000 years, Rama also had to go. Only thing we don't say Rama died. He doesn't look nice. So what we say? Rama went back to Vaikuntha. Or Saket Dham we say. And Krishna, we don't say Krishna died. We don't say, it doesn't look like. So even to say that it doesn't look very pleasant. So what we say? Krishna went back to Vaikuntha. But the fact remains that this body fell out. Therefore, Jatasya hi dhruva mrityuhu is an absolute statement. Anything which is born is going to have death. And therefore, it is a fact. Bhagavan is going to say, this is the fact about this jiva, who is considered to be as permanent as the body. If you are considering body to be Atma, then you are born, then your death is certain. Any medicine you see, that expiry date will be there. If it is not there, you will ask, what is the expiry date of this? Sometimes they don't print also. In many products, in India it chalta hai. So they don't print expiry. Medicine I don't know, but in some product, expiry date they don't write. But it is there, you know. You will ask. Therefore, Jatasya dhruva. Now, another fact also Bhagavan reveals which we are not familiar with. What? Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Anything which is dead, janma, birth is also certain. So that which is gone will have birth again. By law of conservation, nothing is completely destroyed. Therefore, it appears that this person is dead. He is dead with reference to this body, but he will be born again. Somewhere he will be born, somewhere he will be born. This jivo na mriyate, this idam va jiva petam kila idam mriyate. Chandogya Upanishad it comes that the body dies, but Atma, Jivatma doesn't die. And even with reference to body we say that this body right now it is dead. But what happens to the body? Body will be merging into the earth. Either it is cremated, it becomes the earth. Or you bury the body, then in long run it will become the earth. And again from the earth, plants will be born, and from plants again the bodies will be born. In Shastra we have a description. From the plants, food comes. From food alone, the female seed and male seed comes. And from that alone, body comes. So this body is gone now, but after some time, again it will be born. So there is nothing which is completely gone. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. You are born now. You have been born on a particular day. Now you are alive. After some time, this body will go. You will be born somewhere else. If you take from the Shastriya angle, you will be born somewhere else. If you see from the body angle, this body will be born again in some different form. There is no complete destruction of anything. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Tasmat. Therefore means what? That which is born will definitely die, and that which dies will be born again. Therefore, apariharye arthe. With regard to this inevitable fact, choiceless situation, natvam shochitum arhasi. Hey Arjuna, you need not grieve. If you understand that this particular fact is a choiceless fact, then grief will not be there. Grief comes because you are resisting fact as a fact. If you understand fact as a fact, and fact is that which cannot be changed, then you will not grieve. You will not grieve. So Bhagavan is giving very important message that with regard to choiceless situation, what is the choiceless situation? that anything which is born will die. That which is born, death is certain. This is a fact. And fact cannot be changed. Then what is to be done with the fact? Fact is to be accepted. So Bhagavan is giving an important lesson in life, that anything which is born, death is a fact. Fact cannot be changed. Then what is to be done? Fact is to be accepted. What is the meaning of acceptance of fact? Acceptance of the fact means acknowledging fact as a fact without any resistance. Acceptance means absence or dropping the resistance. You drop the resistance. Not only with reference to death, with reference to any choiceless situation. In life, we have got many choiceless situations. In fact, if we analyze our life, more we have choiceless situation than choiceful situation. How? See, our life, we can look upon in this way. Our life is consisting of what? Past. Life is already gone. That is also part of our life only. Past is also part of life. Present and future. Now, past. Do you have any choice about what has happened in the past? You were born on a particular day and in Rahu Kalam, suppose. I hope you are not, but suppose I might be born, I don't know, Rahu Kalam you were born. Now, do you have a choice about that? Now I will go and correct. In register you can correct, but the fact that you are born on a particular day, you cannot change. You were born to particular parents. Do you have a choice regarding that? You are already born. You had a particular siblings, brothers and sisters, who were very bullying over you. When you were small, they were very bullish they were. And they used to hit you every now and then. Because father hit him, so he hit from me. Somewhere he has to pour his anger. So I was hit by him. Already happened. Do you have a choice to change it? You cannot change. So entire past is what? Choiceless. You cannot do anything about that. Therefore, there is not done is done. It cannot be undone. Even if you go to London. So, so that's the rhyming is there. It cannot be undone. It's already happened. Somebody shouted at you. Can you change the fact that that person has shouted at you? Next moment, perhaps you can hit him. Perhaps you should not do it, but maximum you can do is hit him. But you cannot change the fact that that person shouted at you. And not only that, you also did some akramam. Everybody will have done some akramam. Akramam, akramam means a wrong doing, wrong action. In Tamil word, akramam. Akramam they call it. So you did. Everybody in this hall, is there anybody who said, Swami, I have never done akramam? I don't think I have done. I was small, I used to do something. So everybody, I was caught in the school for that. So, so everybody will have done that. Can you change that fact? You cannot change. What about present? Even the present you cannot change. Right this moment, 11:22:25 seconds. At this moment you are sitting here. Can you change this fact? At this moment you cannot change. Next moment, that is your future. Past you cannot change. Present also, present as present you cannot change. It is already there present. Present is that which is already present. You cannot change. What you can change to some extent is future. In Yoga Shastra also they say, Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. Doctor also can give the medicine for what? Future pain only. Present he cannot treat. Next moment only pain should not be there. Therefore that he gives medicine. And next moment means after 15-20 minutes pain will go. So 2/3 we don't have choice. And what about future? Even with reference to future, you think, do you have a choice regarding your aging? Now you are 60 year, next year will become 61. Do you have a choice regarding that? You don't have a choice. Do you have a choice that your body will fall? You don't have a choice. Do you have a choice that after monsoon there will be winter? You have a choice. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. After monsoon, winter will come. After winter, summer will come. In fact, you think. In fact, Swamiji, I may ask you, do you have a choice about changing your spouse? No, you don't have a choice. Otherwise, you would have changed him or her. You don't have a choice. Really, I don't say you don't have choice at all. But your choice is in very limited area. Some disease can be cured, can be just managed. There are some diseases like diabetes, etc., cannot be cured according to medical science, allopathy. Can be managed. And nowadays they claim, but some disease can be just managed. Some disease cannot be even managed. It means you cannot even take care of the symptoms. Incurable disease. So in life, even future is not completely choiceful. Even future also, many things are choiceless. So with regard to this choiceless situation, what should be my attitude? I drop my resistance to all choiceless situation. We don't say that you don't do any action. If something can be changed, please change. Like you can change your slippers, chappal, then change it. You can change your dress style, change. And more importantly, you can change your attitude, change. You can change your habits to some extent in course of time, change. So what is changeable in future? Change. Take action. When we talk about acceptance, we don't mean that you should be passive. You should not do any action, just keep quiet. We don't mean that. What we mean is, what is changeable, you please take action. But what is changeless, don't offer your resistance. Many people have this complaint. Swamiji, why this happened? Why did like this? Why did like this? Why I did like this? Keep on complaining. But Swamiji, this summer will come. It will come. Choiceless. So instead of complaining and resisting this choiceless situation, put your energy on the situation where you have choice. Shastra is not making you passive. Shastra is making you meaningfully active. So Shastra says, what is choiceless, you accept. And where there is choice, you act. Either accept or act. Don't resist. If it is choiceless, accept it as a fact. It is a choiceless. If something is, there is a choice, act. Either accept or act. There is no scope for sorrow. Either you are accepting, therefore there is no sorrow, or you are acting upon it, therefore there is no sorrow. Either act or accept. But what we do, we waste our energy. How? By resisting which is choiceless and not spending energy where we have choice. On choiceful, we don't act, and on choiceless, we react. So Shastra says, instead of doing that, you accept what is choiceless and act wherever you have a choice to act. Wherever there is a scope for change, you please use your energy. And thus, when you have got acceptance, and when we say acceptance, it is not murmuring acceptance. People also say that, kya kare? what to do. I have to keep quiet. That is not acceptance what is meant by Bhagavan Sri Krishna. It is acceptance not coming out of helplessness. It is acceptance coming out of maturity, coming out of objectivity about the situation. It is a mature acceptance where murmuring is not there, complaint is not there. What to do, Swamiji? My husband is like this, my wife is like this. But if I say something, he will be more angry. Therefore, I keep quiet. That is not acceptance. I know that people have background to be what they are, and even they like to change, they take time to change. Therefore, till then I accept. So I learn to accept what is choiceless, and I learn to act with regard to choiceful situation. And one more thing, even when you are acting upon the choiceful situation, till the desired result comes, what should be your attitude? Acceptance of what is presently there. For example, I am trying to change my weight. Now I am 5 kg extra and I want to reduce. I have a choice. But you cannot change overnight. You cannot say that today I am 65 and tomorrow 60. That's not possible. So even when you are acting upon choiceful situation, your attitude is what? Till the expected result comes, I accept what is there today. So even while acting upon choiceful situation, there is attitude of acceptance with regard to the present situation. And you know the great advantage of this is you will focus your energy on what is to be done and not wasting energy which doesn't produce anything. By resisting the fact, you are not changing the fact. Why? Because fact cannot be changed. It is something like, you have a person who is batting. If he is focusing on making runs, then he will hit century. But if he is very conscious of making, when will I make century? When I am not making, why not? He will be out. So focus your energy on what is to be done rather than resisting the facts which it does not produce anything. And that is what the message of Bhagavad Gita. Learn to objectively accept all choiceless situations, knowing them to be fact of life. More about this we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.